Hello again, this is Dr. Scott Peck, and welcome to Peace Skill number 4, Listen with Compassion. I'm so glad you're with me on this peace adventure, and now we've just come from getting the feelings out, which is pretty wild and turbulent, and people are spilling the feelings out. And there's a lot of energy of conflict, of anger, of frustration, maybe even of hate in the getting the feelings out. So now this peace skill, number 4, listen with compassion, is the first peace skill that begins to overtly dampen the conflict. Because when you listen to someone with compassion, without even their knowing it, all of a sudden the level of conflict begins to subside in their consciousness, in their heart. Even though they may not stop being in conflict, the conflict starts getting lessened to a great extent. And why is that? Because what's the biggest complaint we have when we have a conflict? That no one listens to us. And that if they are supposedly listening to us, it's just so that they can get onto their terms so they can tell us why we're wrong and they're right, which is not really listening, is it? So listening with compassion means you are important. You're important enough for me to hear your heart and for you to have the time to get it all out. And I'm going to listen to you not with judgment and not with anger and not with frustration. I'm going to listen to you with compassion. Well, how do you resist that? And that's the big secret. Conflict cannot resist listening with compassion. It just can't. It's just like that fire we talked about. The oxygen is missing. And you'll find, this is what's fun as a peacemaker to observe. You don't want to tell somebody, see, now we're in the peace process and this is going to soften you up. Just listen with compassion and watch the results. And you will see that they might repeat themselves, but each time they repeat themselves, it's with less flair because there's nothing to feed on. Now your love has come into the picture. And that's really what it is. Listening with compassion is love in action. And in case you haven't figured it out, this entire conflict-ending peace skills is all about love. And it's all about the love coming from you to the situation, to the other party. So if you're, now what's the deal if you're a member of the conflict, if you're a party to the conflict? Well, if that's the case, the truth is, it's not as easy to listen with compassion. First, because now you're personally involved and you want to be right and you don't want to listen to this other person's point of view. You think you've heard it and you want them to listen to your point of view. Of course, that just means extended conflict. So you're, as a peacemaker, taking the high road. You've listened to love, you've envisioned peace, you've made the decision to create peace, you've asked them to get their feelings out, and now the critical next peace skill for you, and this is really for you, for me, is to, in your heart, find the resources to listen with compassion. I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen when you do this. You're going to start discovering that they have something very significant to say, more significant than you thought, or that it goes deeper than you thought it would emotionally for them. And you're going to start feeling compassion for them and more understanding of their position and your position. You know, that's opposites, so that you're going to be opening up yourself. Your heart's going to be opening up to a wider sense of peace. That's what's going to be happening within you. May not happen within them right away, but that's okay. We're just at the beginning of the peace process. You can't force peace on someone, but you can facilitate the evolution of peace, and it's inevitable. When you listen with compassion, and just try this. Try this when someone's angry and frustrated or mad over any little thing. Just jump right into the peace process and listen with compassion and watch how healing that is. So I'm grateful that you are opening your heart to the capacity to listen with compassion. It is a decision. You're able to do it and I'm able to do it. Sometimes we don't want to do it. And now we're back at peace skill number 2, aren't we? Decide to create peace. So now we've made that decision. You're too far down the road not to implement this one. So have fun observing what happens when you listen with compassion in a conflict that you're in or that you're helping to resolve. I appreciate what you're doing. Much love.